But on Sunday, you're going to see some shit that you probably haven't seen before. Some of you might have seen it, but I know a lot of you haven't. And it's going to be a two-parter. We're going to play one thing that is exclusive to this channel, and then something else that is pretty big that nobody's seen. So if you love Tupac, if you're a fan like I am, come to the channel at 5. It's going to be worth it. I'm not asking anybody to donate. I'm not asking anybody to super chat, but show up. Because if you show up and the numbers are there, there's tons of unreleased shit that people want to put out.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
All right. We will talk about Orlando Anderson. I do want to say something quick while I'm on here. I gotta go. It's around 9, but if anybody has this rap sheet of Orlando Anderson, I'd like to see it. If he was a suspect in a few murders, look, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but I haven't seen any proof that he was. And that's the problem with the Orlando Anderson theory, is a lot of it is just rumor. Word on the streets doesn't equal evidence. Like, word on the streets when I was in high school that my neighbor was a but if you look at him today, he's a millionaire with a hot wife. So, I mean, word on the street doesn't really matter. I mean, I will be the first one to tell you this, and I'm being completely honest. If someone shows me evidence that is like, look, here's Orlando Anderson on tape saying this is how he did it, a real tape, not that bullshit tape, a real tape, and they say, look, he's admitting to it, and here's the gun, I'll say, you know what, I've been wrong all this time, I apologize, and you solved the murder. But we talked about this last Sunday, I don't want to say we, RJ Bond and Michael Carlin are chasing the lead right now, and I don't know if they get it, if I don't know. I can't really talk too much about it, but if they find that gun, it's over. And it would validate them. It would validate them to find it. They work really hard. I'm going to answer you, the wacky world of OTV. I'm going to answer you. But I want to say this, and I'm not kissing ass. A lot of the shit that you have seen from me that is like older Tupac and super rare, it's because of RJ Bond. A lot of the interviews is because of RJ Bond. He has done a lot of shit that he does not get credit for. It's RJ Bond. Yeah, Tim Brennan. Tim Brennan and Bobby Ladd's interview on Vlad TV. Have you read their book? Because their book, Once Upon a Time in Compton, says that the chain situation with Trevon Lane, that he never got his chain snatched, that it fell to the ground, he picked it up. They write that in their book. They go on Vlad TV and say, nope, it was definitely stolen. So why did you write in the book that it wasn't? And you can actually, if you look at the body language when that question is asked, Tim Brennan is looking at Bobby Ladd like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? It's crazy. I don't knock Vlad. I will say Vlad started to jump in my lane around 2014 because a lot of his shit was like Lord Jamar and shit, and then it was Tupac. Now I'm not gonna knock Vlad because he's been doing the Tupac shit a while too. He put out the mixtape, but look at his channel right now. Every upload is about Tupac, and I get called the culture vulture. At least I'm consistent. Have I been watching Carlin's channel? I've been editing a lot. I do watch some of Carlin's stuff, but the videos that he's been doing where he talks to the camera, I haven't seen any of those. The Carlin stuff is good. You know what? I'll definitely check it out. I support everything Mike does. I know Mike. Last time I was in LA, the last day I was there, me, Mike, and RJ were sitting in a coffee shop. Mike's a smart dude. One thing about Mike And God, I hope he doesn't see this and take it the wrong way. But one thing about Mike is he comes off a little weird. But when you're sitting there talking to Mike, Mike is one of the smartest people in the room. You can have an hour-long conversation, and he can condense that conversation to a sentence. You know, he'll be like, "Look, this is my Mike Garland." He'll be like, "Look, if something's worth $500 million and the owner's a bully, why not just kill him?" That's where that line comes from. Is we were talking about Suge Knight and why they would kill Suge Knight, and he condenses it. He's a real fucking smart guy. So I support anything Mike Carlin does. Mike is a real dude. Mike's a he's a really likable dude. When you meet Mike in person, you know, at first I was a little skeptical of Mike, but he's a real cool dude. He's a real down to earth regular person. A lot of people think that he's like this weird conspiracy theorist. Nah, Mike knows everybody, like prosecutors in LA, judges, lawyers. You know, it's fucking crazy. Mike's got all the connections. Do I think he was finished? I think no, no, I don't think he was finished off in the hospital. I think he was dying. I think he was dying from the moment he was shot. I'm an avid gun collector and shooter. I know what a 40 caliber bullet does, and when it bounces up and it hits you in the hip and then it goes up through your lungs and shit, man, they couldn't stop the bleeding. There was no need to finish off Tupac. I think he only regained conscious once or twice, and it was briefly. I know he did once for Mopreme. Some people are lying, by the way. Snoop Dogg's fucking lying. Snoop Dogg's story changed 2 or 3 times. Afeni died, then all of a sudden Afeni's there, comforting Snoop Dogg and all this other shit. But back to the original point, no, I don't think that it was necessary to finish off Tupac in the hospital. And I think when he was shaking the bed and trying to get his brother's attention, I really think that he was just trying to tell him to get him the fuck out of the hospital. If you listen to Only God Can Judge Me, he's like, I got a doctor standing over me screaming I can make it. And he's talking about something's evil in my IV. When he was shot in Quad Studios in New York, he got the fuck out of the hospital. And the Nation of Islam, they got him out of the hospital because they knew he wasn't safe there. And I think that after the Vegas shit, you know, I don't know if you know that you're dying because I've never been dying. I don't know if Tupac knew he was dying. I think maybe he regained consciousness and was like, fuck, get me the fuck out of here. I think that's most likely. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. Paige Hibbs. Okay. The helicopter lady, right? Here's the thing about people. I don't know how many people in this chat are from LA or have been to LA or have filmed in LA. And this is Vegas, I know, but I'm trying to make a point here. In LA, when I was shooting the Daryl Harper video, everybody was, they seen the camera, they seen me sitting there, they seen us interviewing Daryl Harper. They were trying to get in that camera shot like it was going to be their big break, like they were going to be the next Kardashians, walking through the fucking shot. And they were doing it on purpose because they could see our setup. People want to be on TV, and sometimes people will just say whatever the fuck just to get on the news. Um, I don't think that Paige Hibbs saw a fucking helicopter. I think she was just someone on the street that was like, shit, I want to be on TV. Yeah. I saw, you know, helicopter took him away because most of the times when there's a traumatic incident in a downtown city, you know, life flight helicopters go. But, you know, my opinion on Paige Hibbs is that she's full of shit. That's why she doesn't talk to anybody, if you've noticed. She doesn't come out and talk because she knew she was lying. But, you know, if you're drunk with your girlfriends in Vegas, fuck it, who cares? And that's probably how they looked at it. But that is a red herring. What time? It's 5 p.m. Sunday, Pacific Standard Time. So that would be 8 o'clock Eastern on Sunday.